Hello, Parkway parents and students. My name is Miss Wallick. I work with the Individuals in Societies department here at Parkway. I teach Year 3 Civics, which civics is going to be a little bit of American government, a little bit of United States history, and a little bit about our economic system. One of the clear ways to contact me is going to be through email. All students have access to their email through ClassLink and through the Office 365 app. My email is going to be my name, which is alexandria.wallick@osceolaschools.net. Another great resource to contact me is the Remind app. On Monday, August 24th, I will give the Remind class code to my digital students through Teams. And then for my face-to-face students, I will also provide them with paperwork with that Remind code on it. So students will be going home with that Remind code. I highly encourage both student and parent download the Remind app because any message you send to me goes directly to my personal device. So it's just a clearer, more concise way of contacting me so that I get back to you as soon as possible. Another thing we want to talk to you for open house is our grading expectations. The Department of Individual and Societies has changed our grading scale, so please listen closely. For summative assessments, which are going to be your projects as well as your big unit tests, that's going to be 30 points and 30% of your overall grade. We also have weekly quizzes in civics. These weekly quizzes are going to be 40 points or 40% of your overall grade. These ones are higher because we focus mostly on the mastery of each standard that is being taught. So we want to make sure that you understand these standards before we go and test you during those summative assessments. Another aspect of our grading scale is going to be classwork. Classwork is going to be 20 points or 20% of your overall grade. For my digital students, this is important. Each class and lesson that we have digitally, you will have something due by the end of that period. So you will only have 10 minutes after our period has ended to turn in assignments. All assignments will be turned on through Teams and uploaded through Teams. Lastly, with our grading scale, we have bell work, participation, and exit tickets. Those are all going to be worth 10 points. Bell work is what we do at the beginning of each class to kind of introduce a topic or subject. Exit tickets are how we end the class to make sure we understood that day's lesson. And participation is throughout the lesson to make sure that students are engaged. So all students need to be engaged and prepared, whether they're digital or face-to-face. Some supplies that students are going to be needed. I'm going to have you reference the Osceola School District supply list. I haven't deviated from that list. So as long as my face-to-face students bring all necessary materials, they are in compliance with that school supply list, then they are good to go. For my digital students, it's important that you have your own supplies at home, but you're also following the procedures that will be listed out on Teams. I do want most of my students to keep all of their work in a file folder within their PC. And for my face-to-face students, we typically would do an interactive notebook that you would have as a reference guide throughout the year. It would be something that I would keep in my classroom and that we would just pull for each class and I would grade from the notebook. Unfortunately, with COVID-19 guidelines and safety issues, since it's a high-touch area, I will not be keeping any interactive notebooks in class. It is up to that student's responsibility of keeping their own work together, whether it's in a spiral notebook, a binder, a folder, or a digital folder for my digital students. So it is up to that student's responsibility to hold all of their work together as a reference guide so we can have it for studying at the end of the year for our EOC, our end of the year exam. For my face-to-face students, pencils, pens, all are required for your first week of school as well as for the rest of the year. There is one little guideline I want to make, is that I only accept work in blue and black ink. For your notes and your personal note taking, if you want to write in colored pen or pencils, highlighters, that's completely up to you. That's no problem. But any work that I grade has to be in pencil or blue and black ink. For my digital students, any work that is submitted is going to have to be submitted as a Word document, which if you don't have Microsoft Word downloaded onto your computer, you can do so through the Office 365 app on Classwork. Any work submitted, the font has to be 12-point font. It has to be Times New Roman, and it has to be double spaced. If you have any questions on this or you need help technically with that, we can discuss that on our first week when we start to meet, and we'll go over those procedures. But that is the expectations. I want to just say I cannot wait to meet everybody and get to know each and every single one of you. This year will be challenging, both academically, inside the classroom, and outside of the classroom. But I think as long as we communicate, we're patient, we remain flexible, and we try our best every single day, we can achieve great goals. We really can. And I want to thank you all for the ones that show up on Monday, August 24th, for our first day of school. To all my digital students, we begin class with our video on in Teams and our microphones off. The video is on is to make sure that I know who is there and participating for attendance, and microphones off so you can listen clearly for instructions. For my face-to-face students on Monday, just come prepared with all of your supplies, and we get to know each other right there in class. So supplies ready, masks on, face masks on, and we'll begin our learning for our 2020-2021 school year. I'm so excited to meet you all. Please don't hesitate to reach out and ask any questions. We're going to have a great year, and go Pirates.